edition of
Kayfabe Queen!
The spooky edition. And because it's a special edition, we have a special guest.
Yes, we have a spooky expert, a friend of the podcast, Otis of Allentown Presents podcast.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the show, Otis.
This is awesome. Out of my friends, I'm like the biggest like wrestling person, so I always try to shoehorn in wrestling stuff with scary things. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's a thing that happened. Like, one day I will be surrounded by wrestling people, and then I can just throw out facts and things. So this is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Very exciting. So, Al, you're usually the most organized of the both of us. So, what do you have anything outlined for us? Because I know we're going to talk about scary moments, our favorite characters, and so you take it away. What do you think we should talk about first?
There's so many. I don't know. There's a lot of scary things. Like, I don't know, maybe because I was older, I didn't get a whole lot of scary moments, and when I started watching it was later, so it wasn't like spooky. It was like, yeah, I get it's supposed to be scary, but I was never terrified.
Yeah.
So you guys have some good spooky moments. So what scared you guys as kids?
Okay.
Well, you go first, Otis.
Go, Otis.
You go first. You're the guest.
One of my biggest ones, and I can't remember which episode I bring this up and everyone laughed, but I remember when I was younger and Macho Man, he was getting married to Miss Elizabeth, and anytime there's something wedding related at the venue of a wrestling show, it's not going to go good. I've seen many weddings not make it through all the way.
Whole other episode. That's a whole episode.
So they were actually in the back and they were going through their gifts. And so Macho Man opens a gift and it's like, snakes came out. And he's like freaking out. And then
it's truly terrifying though. Like Elizabeth is selling it so well. She's such a good actress. Like I just feel so bad for this poor lady.
And so
she did so good.
So Macho Man knows it's Jake the Snake, and so he's chasing him to the ring. And so when he gets him to the ring, he gets him in the not the Tree of Woe, but the one where they get their arms wrapped like on the ropes.
Yeah, I'm stuck. Yeah.
I'm stuck.
Andre the Giant did it all the time. It was like his favorite thing to do in matches. But so they got him locked up. And then they had like a devenomed like snake bite him real good on the arm, like he was bleeding. Yeah. And then he just proceeds to just writhe in pain like he's dying in the ring. And I just remember kids crying in the crowd and stuff. And I'm looking around like, where are your friends, Macho? Like, why are you dying by yourself?
Are they letting this happen to you?
You know, they're probably scared. Maybe they have a phobia.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a big ass. That was a big snake.
It was.
Yeah, so that was always terrifying to me. Kid me was like,
why? Like a hooded cobra. Yeah. No, snakes are too scary. Actually, mine is not when I was a kid, but there is like when Papa Shango like cursed Warrior, and just like watching it as an adult and like just seeing the like the acting is just so hilarious, especially when like he projectile vomits in the back. It's supposed to be like what is that, the Exorcist type of moment?
Yeah.
But yeah. And that was pretty funny now, but I mean, obviously, as a kid, you're like, what is happening? But for me, like my favorite is actually, and I had to revisit it, was when Kane like pops through the hole in the ring and he like drags Zack Ryder down. And like Cena saves him, and it's so well acted. Like they did such a good job. And then like the hole just goes whoosh. And like I'm an adult, this is happening. I was like, that's kind of scary. That's so creepy, being like pulled into a hole. Like, oh no, that's just a no for me.
You should have done a top 5 pulls from the ring. A lot of people have been pulled under the ring.
A lot of you, yes, they have. Just zinked. Really terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Al?
Go ahead, Otis.
I was gonna say another quick one, but you go.
Oh, Oh, well, I guess this. What about like this? Well, what's the scare? I don't know if I was ever scared watching wrestling. There was things I was like, oh god, anything hands makes me cringe.
Maybe like really entertained.
I think we just talked
Wait,
about
was
it before.
hands
That's also frightening. Remember when the hand grew up? That was weird.
Oh no! Oh no!
You're welcome for
I
that.
forgot about that.
You're welcome. But we just talked about before. Kane. Well, Kane and Shane's whole feud. That was some good quality. They did a lot of things to each other. They tried to kill each other.
Awesome.
But probably the scariest was Kane electrocuting Shane on the ring post with his by the nards. Just
had to, like if you're gonna do it.
I think I was 14 and I was like, oh my god, why? Like, you okay?
Horrified.
Yeah, I was actually. I think I was really cringe there.
That's funny.
Not him slamming the limo into the thing. Was that yours?
No, I actually have another one. But I remembered. Oh man, wrestling, it's a mess. I'm one match. So with the Undertaker and Mankind, they fought a lot, like around like '96, and they had a buried alive match. And I was cheering for Taker. I love Undertaker now. Talking when he says words, it gets a bit goofy. He's like blood and souls, rest in peace. I was like, yeah. Kid me was like, yeah, me now. I'm like, what did that mean? But when Mankind and just everybody from the back like jumps Undertaker and they bury him alive, and it's not like an instant thing. They were just like dumping dirt in there, and I'm like, as a kid, I was like, holy crap, like that dude's getting buried alive. I was like, once again, I was like, where are the good guys? Like, help this man. But it was always crazy to me, like those buried alive matches. I know they have like a little spot where they can crawl and be safe and stuff, but it's still crazy to see people get buried alive. It's the wildest thing for a kid to see.
That's true.
So weird.
It's true.
Casket matches are a little
A
cringe
lot of
too.
casket matches.
I've
Or
seen
like
a casket
when
match.
Nash opened it and it's like him and that's like creepy. It's like, what happened to that wax Nash? Where is that at? Did he have it in his home?
Oh, I bet you it's in the vault. They have that big that big building WWE has where they have all the archives. They have everything there. I bet you
it's in there. It's all dusty.
I want to go there. Can we do an episode there? Come on, WWE,
Let's
please.
do it.
That'd be awesome. That'd be a
That's
great
the
tour.
dream.
Yeah.
What was I gonna
Yeah,
say?
those are some good moments though, for sure.
Mankind in general is pretty spooky, I have to admit. I went back and watched, I was like,
It's
oh,
like
wow.
creepy.
It's creepy.
I mean, it's
Gets
like
your head.
Leatherface, basically.
Yeah.
When he goes into his
it's like,
little rants and stuff, it's kind of creepy. It's really creepy, actually.
Yeah, it's a little unnerving.
Yeah.
I was,
Definitely.
older us, like watching the Wyatt family always creeped me out when they were together.
Yes.
Because I always, like, I wasn't scared by it, but I wouldn't want to be in a shack with them.
No.
It's like you start hearing the banjo. Ding, 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 ding,
I'm out.
ding, ding, ding. Like, what? No!
Amelia, you have
I
lots
think-
of feelings about Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family
Well, I was
/ the
gonna
Fiend.
say, and maybe because it was kind of spoiled for me in a way, like the whole the idea of the character is really good, like this scary swamp dude who's like just this mysterious character. But I think, and producer S pointed this out to me before Bray Wyatt was even debuted as that character, is like that's based off of another character like Skinner, who was really creepy and played that role really well, but did not, obviously continue. So, I mean, I didn't know who that character was, but going back, I'm like, oh, that is basically that reincarnated, but through Ray Wyatt. And, he does a really good job of it, but I think it spoiled it for me because now I'm like, oh, that's just a ripoff of something they've already done in the past. So that's why I never bought it fully. Yeah, essentially, yeah. But I don't know. I just, there's something that never really pulled me in. But the idea of it is really, really creepy. And like the family, it's like Manson family. So it's like the Wyatt family. it should be scary, but I just have this like weird dislike for him. I don't know why.
You really do. I think it started off, remember, the thing that it got weird towards the end, remember that match at WrestleMania with Randy and Bray, and there was the weird Tool graphics on the ring?
Oh, yeah.
Then it was just like, I don't like, I'm not scared, I'm watching a weird Tool video. Like,
but again, we're grown-ass people. I mean, we cry about wrestling all the time, but to a kid, to someone who's not really understanding what's going on, that's probably really terrifying for them.
House of Horrors match was not creepy. I saw it live. I'm still salty about it 3 years later. That was not scary. It wasn't even filmed in San Jose.
Yeah.
Oh.
The part they hop into the car and then drive to the ring, that was kind of meh. But everything else, like watching it on TV, I was like, this is sweet. He's in a freaky house trying to trip up Randy. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, wait, they hop in the cars? Like, wait, where did the ref go? Like, is the ref in a car too?
I'm so confused.
That was weird.
It was weird. It could have been great though if they had the right people in charge. It could have been great.
Oh, yeah.
It just got weird and too crazy. Like, I don't know. So okay.
Wait. What was the situation when the Wyatts faced off with New Day? That was actually really fun to watch. I enjoyed
that. Was fun.
That match.
That was good.
It was kind of scary but fun. You know, it was meant to be like, oh, I'm on your territory now. Let's go.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, it was.
I really enjoyed that.
That was good. That was their final deletion, like comeback though.
Yeah.
But it was still good.
Yeah. Yes. Good moments.
What else we got? We have a whole list of like spooky people. Who's like?
Oh my gosh, we could.
Who
just
scared you as a kid? Was there any like one person that scared you as a kid, Otis? Doesn't have to be a spooky character.
I never liked Boogeyman. Yeah, Boogeyman always bothered me.
Why? Because he was an old ass man.
I saw him. I was like, it was rough watching him and then the worms and stuff. I've never a fan of that. I was never an advocate for the Boogeyman. Anytime he pops up in a reunion show, I'm good. He's like laughing and just,
you're like,
no. People kind of like they're scared, but it's like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
That's funny.
He would do that little like dance thing with his little stick.
His little clock, and he'd bang it on his head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why?
You know what?
Why,
I think it's because you guys watched that Tough Enough that he was on where he lied about his age, right? So I think that's what killed it for me.
Yeah.
I was like, this dude was on Tough Enough. Like,
I know who he is. He was like a teacher or something, right? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's a very wholesome man, actually.
He's a very wholesome man.
You remember when he bit Jillian's mole off?
Oh my god! So gross.
That was gross.
Jillian.
That wasn't scary. That was just gross.
They made her do some really embarrassing things, but you know what? We remember her for it. She did a good job. She did a really good job.
You put some respect on Jillian Hall's name. She worked hard.
That's right. You put the respect. She did. She earned it. She
had an album.
For sure. She had an album.
That might be scary.
Okay,
actually.
Yeah. That's kind of scary. I would say, what about you, Al? Who scared you? Did anyone ever scare? Like you said, you didn't really get any.
Okay,
fear from any wrestler, but
so as a child, as I didn't watch wrestling, but my cousins did. So picture 2-year-old little me, Al. I lived with them. I was deathly afraid of Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
that's like not even. I was literally scared of that man.
It's like you knew.
I knew something in my brain was like, that man's not.
I knew something wasn't right about it.
But it was an old school big TV. Those big old ones that were real thick.
Big old block.
Yeah, big that took up all your house. They had one of those. So I'm small, and they do a tight shot on the face. Big leathery man. I did not like that. I'd run away. I'd run down the hall.
Yeah,
hot dog skin.
That was scary. That hot dog skin, bleached mustache. No. Yeah, you're right. You were right to run. You were right to run as a kid.
That's literally the only thing that's ever scared me in wrestling. Other than like being present for people's injuries, but like.
Oh yeah, that's just a cringe. Like, I can't watch it.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say for me, watching as a kid, as a youngster, I thought Sensational Sherry was scary. So to call her Scary Sherry was appropriate because she was scary. Like
Yes.
her and Luna Vachon were both very like intimidating female figures that, you know, like when you're a little kid, you don't think of, I mean, you think of witches, but not like scary wrestling women. And they were both really creepy. Like, oh, they're crazy. Like, don't mess with them at all. Don't mess with them because they'll kill you. But I mean, yeah, as a kid, I didn't even know she was Sensational Sherry. I always knew her as Scary Sherry. So, so like, I was like, oh wait, that's Sensational Sherry? I thought it was Scary Sherry.
You're like, well,
She was scary to me. And then of course Undertaker was really scary, and I think what really upped his like eerie and spookiness was Paul Bear. Like Paul Bear was a creepy looking dude. He did such a good job of being Paul Bear. Like I was like, people are gonna take my soul. I'm scared. So,
the voice.
I mean, I really bought into it right away. Yes, exactly. The urn. I mean, I bought it right away, but then like as you got older, you're like, oh, this is neat. Oh, that's neat. That's kind of cool.
Then
Cool.
Kane joined.
Still here? Awesome. And then Kane joined the group, and wow, the rest is history.
Good stuff. Oh, I remember that when they were fighting.
Ah,
Oh, that was good.
good time to be alive. A good era of wrestling.
So good.
So my my buddy, every Halloween, I always tell him that we should dress up as Undertaker and Paul Bear. And he's like, okay, well, I'll just find me a suit. And I'm like, no. You're Undertaker. And my friend is like tiny. He's a wee man. And I tell him like, no. He's like, but that doesn't make sense aesthetically, Otis. You're taller than me. I'm like, no. I want to be Paul Bear. I'm going to walk around.
That's it.
I always pictured like have like an old Game Boy in my hands. Like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, but that doesn't make a lick of sense. I'm like, no, it's better that way. It's better.
It's for the comedy. It's better. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There have been little kids dressed up as Paul Bear in the audience too, huh? Well, I mean, there's little kids dressed up as everybody, but seeing a small Paul Bear is kind of endearing.
It's cute.
You're like, aw, that's cute.
That is cute.
It is.
I'm kind of concerned,
And
but
then
also
when he got
cute.
inducted into the Hall of Fame, yeah, his son sounded just like him, so that was kind of cool too. I was like, aw. So even though he was super scary to me as a kid, like when they honored him, I was like, man, yeah, hell yeah, I loved Paul Bear. He's what made Taker for me at first, but the Taker obviously didn't need anybody, but for it, it made the first impact because of Paul Bear for me.
Oh yeah.
Really helped elevate
100%.
the scariness.
Yeah,
I can bury you alive. Oh, and that is another thing too. I had a fear of being kidnapped and buried alive because there was like so many Lifetime movies about it. Swear, so many Lifetime movies about it. It felt like there was always a story about someone getting kidnapped and being buried alive, or a whole like school bus of kids being buried alive. So that whole idea of Undertaker burying you alive is terrifying when you're a kid. You're like, yeah, he'll really do it because people are actually really getting buried alive. So
or kidnapping Stephanie.
Yeah, thank you. I was about to say that. He was dead set on marrying that girl for the longest.
Creepy.
He really,
Poor Stephanie. That's happened a lot to her.
Yeah, she got kidnapped a lot.
She did.
She got kidnapped a lot.
That's
or
what
drugged.
happens. Oh.
Yeah, I remember.
Hey, I'm glad that ended well.
Yeah, I mean, at
fine.
least they got remarried.
Wait, which time?
Yeah.
Right?
Under
Which
non-drugged
time?
circumstances. They at
There
least
was,
love each other.
there was a fake pregnancy involved in the second one.
Oh my god.
Again, that's a whole separate episode I could do on Stephanie.
Oh.
Just the things for your grandchildren when you get older, the stories that your grandchildren are going to know about you. Like, wait, what happened, Grandpa? Wait, what? What?
Grandpa's limo exploded? What?
Oh, that was scary. That's crazy.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a weird day. And real life and in that, like Kayfabe wise.
Yeah,
That was a
the
weird.
week later. Ooh.
Yeah, that was weird. Oh man.
I remember it happened. I was like, well, that's
There's
kind of creepy.
definitely. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know what also was really fun? And okay, so you already know this, Elle. Blade is one of my favorite movies. And so The Brood, like I was not a big fan of Edge or anything like that, but The Brood were like the music is cool.
Oh,
They had the bloodbath. I mean, that was really cool. But that's
We
just
should've-
from like, oh man, you know, that's so cool. But not scary, but it was like, wow, that's so cool.
We should
I
cut
love
in.
Blade.
We should put in that Brood music like we did our first episode.
Ooh, yeah. It's so good. It's so good.
If you go back to our really bad first episode, we open with the Brood theme.
Yeah.
hey, at
Just
least you have
full
music.
We're rounding our 2 years, so that would be appropriate.
Yeah. Hey,
We're a week away.
Oh,
Hi, Bella.
kitty. That's
What
tail
are she have
wagging.
thoughts?
Mhm.
She wants
Like,
to be on
are we
the internet.
talking about scary stuff?
Yeah, I mean, she's watched a lot of wrestling. I don't know what she likes or anything. She sits there and looks at it.
Is Darby a spooky wrestler, or is he just gas? Would you put him
He's
in?
gas.
Like all the spooky girls like him. He's like their modern Jeff
This
Hardy.
is true. Yeah,
Mhm.
him and Priscilla,
Yeah.
Priscilla Kelly, right? They're both kind of spooky. They both
They're
have
spooky.
a spookiness
They have that
to
spooky-
them.
I like that. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's not even just gothy. It's more like, he's like homicidal, suicidal. He's like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac meets wrestling. In a way,
He did.
you know?
He did
That's
have
the
Johnny
look.
Knoxville on last night on AEW.
Oh, okay.
It was like
okay.
I'm Darby Allin and this is Jackass. I'm like, what?
All right.
I don't know why he's hanging out with Johnny
What era
Knoxville.
are we in?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm worried. I'm a little worried, but it's okay. I don't know if that's Darby's idea, but
Maybe they're friends.
who else is spooky?
The Dark
Evil is
Order?
spooky. You had mentioned evil.
Evil!
Oh, yeah, the Dark Order. Yeah, evil.
He has a scythe.
Yeah, he has like a full-on robe. I mean, the man's wardrobe is spooky AF.
Spooky.
So.
Yes.
Turning on his voice, also spooky as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm real mad about that. Bullet Club. Bullet Club is evil. He's still my dude, but I'm really kind of salty about that. So
I know. It is kind of weird, though. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Bella.
Suzuki
yeah.
is scary. Suzuki scares me.
Well, yeah, for a totally different reason. Of like, you fear for your life because he might kill you, I guess. Yeah, he's scary. He's scary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We all just not in agreement. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I get a little
Everyone's a good
nervous.
chance.
Listen, going to a New Japan show makes me a little nervous when he's there. Like, I'm like super hyped to see him, but I'm also a little scared to be in the same building as him. You've seen him, right,
It's funny,
Emelia?
though. When you see like pictures of people who've actually met him, he's like the most delightful guy. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you know,
Murder Grandpa!
murder grandpa. Do you think kids, like, let's just say maybe 7 and under, were scared when they first saw like Finn's entrance? Because it's like
It's either. I think a lot of kids would probably think it's cool. Like, because that's that, like,
Okay.
ooh, this is cool. He has smoke.
What do you think kids think are scary these days? Is anything
Their Wi-Fi
really
going out?
scary? Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That's true.
the same things scare everybody, but you got to remember that shows and stuff get more and more ridiculous over the years. And so it takes a little bit
Yeah.
more if you want to like traditionally scare somebody. But if you're
Yeah.
hiding around a corner and just jump out like, boo, you can scare somebody. It's easy.
Jump scares.
Yeah.
Scares.
But like I was saying about Macho Man in the ring, sometimes real stuff, you know, when it looks like oh, he really got bit by a snake, that can still scare
Buried
people.
alive.
But I think if I was a kid and I saw Finn Balor live, like come out, that'd be legit. I'm like, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's more
Yeah,
like,
because everyone gets to
oh.
put their hands in the air.
There's
There's
castles.
It's very,
too.
you can participate in it because it's like a full audience participation. Yeah, it does feel cool to be a part of that.
I might
That's
be scared
true.
of the Fiend if I was a kid.
Oh, 100%. That's creepy.
Creepy. He's creepy.
That
He's-
mask is really well done.
He's it's the creepy show guy, like, and then he murders his like stuffed animals. It's creepy.
This is true.
He
Yeah, as a
did.
little kid, you're like, why did he do that?
I was the time. Remember when he cut Daniel Bryan's hair though? I was a little like, oh, that's creepy. Like when he just kept ripping the hair out. That was creepy.
You're like, ah!
I didn't like that. Like there's just more hair. Didn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think they put extensions in
No,
for
they
more
were-
effect?
they were- So what he said is they were cutting his hair under the ring, so he would just have
What?
things. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's not good at all.
That's kind of
That
crazy.
scares me.
It's like pitch black. You're like, I think I know what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He could have. Yeah, they could have poked that out. What else?
I don't like that.
There's a lot
If
of
kids
spooky.
had any sense, they'd be scared of real things like Walter chopping you in the chest. Now that's scary.
I'm scared of Walter.
Eee.
I'm a little scared of Imperium
Right.
just
Oh, my
because they're
chest is
very
red,
Eastern
but yeah.
European.
Why don't I have skin on my chest anymore? It
Mm-mm.
got ripped off.
Mm-mm.
You know why.
He chopped asthma into my body. I'm like, yeah.
Didn't have it before, but I do now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
What about a spooky ladies?
Ooh. Yeah, spooky ladies. You had mentioned Abaddon,
Oh,
which that's good makeup. That's
Oh,
really good makeup.
Yeah.
That's commitment because it gets everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's in her eye. How are you wrestling, girl?
She makes it work with those contacts and everything.
Mm-hmm. That's creepy. She creeps me out a little bit. I don't think I'd want to be in a front row for that.
No, and it's in the same vein as Sue Young. They're like kind of like the same kind of scary and eerie. Yeah. It's like, ooh, that's commitment to the character, but it's like, ooh,
spooky women.
Yeah.
spooky.
TNA has a lot of spooky women. Impact has a lot of spooky women.
Yes. I don't know. It's usually with like women wrestlers. Like I respect them when they have like a really cool look, and a lot of the spooky ones, like you were saying, Abaddon and stuff, they just look awesome to me. And I'm like, oh, you're so cool. I'm not scared at all. I'm just like, yeah, you're awesome. I can't think of anybody
they
that
do
would
look really cool.
bother me, but they're all so cool. Ugh.
Impact had like a whole spooky crew. So sorry. This I guess I have to buy some time. Hold on. We're getting low on time, you guys.
Oh,
We have like 10 minutes. We have a few minutes. We have like 10 minutes
oh,
left.
quick.
Yeah. I have a countdown going, so.
Oh, okay.
But
We
Impact
got
had
it,
really
we
good
got it.
spooky ladies. They had that whole thing with Sue Young. They were trying to get Allie's soul because she was the evil bunny.
Yeah. I forgot about yeah. Oh my gosh.
Then they killed
I love
her. Impact's in a place where they will just kill
Killed her.
people off. And they're just like, yeah, they died. Like, what?
She's dead. She died.
She's dead now. I was
You
not
know what
about
was a
Impact.
good moment? It was a good moment, and I'm sorry because we're gonna run out of time. But was on Being the Elite when they had the exorcism of Cody. That was really good. They did a good job of that with the storytelling on the ship.
That was a good Halloween special. Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
forgot about it. I was just remembering, like, we were talking about, like, Allie's soul and stuff. I was like, oh, remember when Cody was possessed?
And it had build up. He was like acting weird like episodes before.
Yeah.
And then
He
finally
was
it just all
twitching
fell
and he had
apart.
all. He
Yeah,
was
the
doing all the facts. Yeah.
That was
that's
so
a good one.
That's a good one.
Wasn't it
Fun. I'll go
Christopher?
rewatch that.
I am too. Was it Christopher Daniels, the priest that saved his soul?
The priest that saved his soul.
Was he the
That's
fallen
right.
angel then?
No, but it's just called back to fallen angel times.
It's called,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Good times. Exorcism
Oh my
of
god.
Cody Rhodes.
That was good. That was real good.
Definitely. So, let's
Wait,
see.
before we go, we have to talk about the traditional trick-or-treat street fights that they have on SmackDown, where they just smash each other with pumpkins and candy.
Yeah.
For years, it was
candy,
Cesaro and
pie.
Ambrose. Cesaro and Ambrose did that a lot.
It's always Cesaro.
I'm
Poor
sure.
Cesaro.
I mean, they're like, hey, you down now? You down now? Cesaro's like, I'm down. Like, we'll put him in.
Those are fun. I like it.
Yeah, heck yeah.
They are.
What about
It's scary that he hasn't been stamped. That's the real scary thing.
I mean, SmackDown is on Halloween Eve this year, so I'm sure it's going to be a fun episode.
Yeah.
I love a Halloween, like a holiday episode of any wrestling, honestly.
Yeah. When people get into it, it's fun.
Yeah.
Halloween is fun. I really enjoy Halloween.
Diva costume contests. Those were scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, depends on who you are, but yeah, you're right.
Mickey James won his Trish one time, and that
AJ
was
Lee always
spooky.
tried. She had some good ones.
She did. That's the most iconic costume contest. Or whenever
Good one.
Victoria, she would just funny costumes, just because she's like, well, I'm not going to be sexy. She was the sumo wrestler that one year.
I'm in a costume. Yeah. Aw, I love Victoria.
My favorite. She was spooky too because she was crazy. She was scary in a different,
She's
an
crazy.
unstable
She'd go
kind of
like,
way.
ah. And
She was ripping people's fingernails off with her teeth.
Yeah.
I love her. She had her entrance video with the eye in her hand
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Yeah.
with with tattoo as her theme
man.
Oh
song.
yeah, that was their theme song. Oh, good stuff. Good psycho
times.
stuff.
And then she had Steven Richards. They were
Oh!
together.
That was
Holy
beautiful.
crap.
That was a beautiful time.
It was a good time. He just bossed him around, and he was just like crazy.
Pretty much.
Oh man, that was so good.
That
She
was
crazy.
really good. She was crazy.
Loved it.
Me too.
Here
Here for it, for sure.
5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts on spooky wrestling or Halloween? And
it seems like the new generation of like wrestlers, like we were saying, like Darby Allin. There are a lot of people that understand that people like some weirdness, and there's older dudes like, Matt Hardy, just people that are just off and weird and just do goofy things. And it's like, there is a place for it. As long as you're not uptight about it, like, that doesn't make a lick of sense. Like, just relax. It's good stuff. But I love
Enjoy it.
the right amount of spooky and things is great. You go too far and it's like, okay, that was a bit much. But
cheesy.
it's always good, just a little bit.
Yeah. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm looking at the time, that's why. Where can we find you, Otis? Thanks for hanging out.
No, this
Yay!
was fun. This was really fun. We will try to shoehorn in more wrestling, horror-related things to drag you ladies back over to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And no, this is really fun.
We had lots
I
of
love
fun
talking
in
about
your show
wrestling.
too.
It's like my favorite.
We have to watch Kane's movie.
Oh, see,
like we gotta watch it.
That's what
You know, Evil, we gotta watch that and talk about
100%.
it.
I will
because
watch
it's
that movie.
spooky.
So on Twitter, you can check us out at Allentown Pod if you want to message any fun facts about wrestling. It's a coalition, but I will always talk about wrestling with people. Allentown Presents at gmail.com if you want to email me anything about wrestling. I love it. And then our Facebook is Allentown Presents. And so we're finishing up our 31 scary movie collection. It was really fun. I'm very sleepy. So I'm ready to relax in November, December, and just there'll be Christmas things and all that stuff. But no, this was really fun. I love talking about wrestling.
I'm so glad we had you on. It was so
Yay!
fun.
Listen to Otis's podcast.
Yes.
Listen to
It's not just
Allentown.
spooky.
Not just spooky.
Yeah, we do tons of stuff.
Where can we find you, Emelia?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at DaftPansy, DaftPansy. I've been a little bit more active. That's how I get most of my wrestling news.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't been on Facebook or Instagram that much lately. Mostly on TikTok. Hey, speaking of which, we need more TikTok wrestling creators.
Is that the niche we're going to fall? Are we getting a TikTok?
Well, Colt Cabana has a very good TikTok. So I really enjoy watching him. He's hilarious on TikTok because he's a comedy wrestler. So his TikTok's pretty funny. He does some really good ones.
Should we get a TikTok? Are we going to be cool?
Let's just get a TikTok. Let's just do it. Might as well.
Sure.
Before it's gone.
Anyways, you can follow me.
You, Al?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Kayfabe Al. You can follow the show at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Still working on that Twitch. I guess we're getting a TikTok at Kayfabe Queens. And we'll be back in a few weeks with our 2-year anniversary.
Yay!
Yay, 2 years old.
Bye.
We're 2.